Oh.
All right, so we're back. So we're going to do some chakra balancing, chakra healing with the healing energy of unconditional love. We muscle tested Reiki, and it was no to Reiki energy, but yes to the light. Whatever color it's going to come, we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if I don't know if there's something that I need to release or if it's time to start creating. I don't know I don't know where I'm at. So.
Yeah. So I think that's why we're getting nudged to just muscle test for your highest and best good. What do we need to do? Because, yeah, I was just getting it that we don't need to do because a lot of times in these sessions, Heather is totally right that we usually okay, we're going to formulate the goal and we got to get our goal clear. And then and then sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, right now it's not I know that the ultimate goal is something to do with kind of shining my light, but I don't know.
Yeah. And I think we said this when we were paused. One of the reasons that we're being pointed in this direction is just because we could talk about it for an hour and a half and
not really get anywhere.
Maybe not even have enough clarity on the goal. Sometimes we need to work with it consciously on the mental level, and sometimes we don't. So, this will be fun. All right.
This will be a nice little adventure.
Yes. And let me just muscle test. Are you going to, do you have a preference for lying down or sitting up?
I don't, lying down sounds nice right now.
Okay. The most appropriate position for this.
I'm sitting in a bed, so.
Okay. The most appropriate position for this exercise is lying down, sitting up. Okay. So you need to stay seated, but
okay.
You do want to get relaxed. So if you need to lean against something, that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. So. All right. All right. So the first thing we need to start with the crown chakra and go down. We're going to start with the root chakra and go up. Okay. So we need to start below the root chakra. So that's a no. Okay. So you just need to put one hand down kind of at the root of your body. So it can be on the back or the front.
Okay.
Down by your pubic bone, or the tip of the sacrum if you're on the back. And so you're just touching that point. And then other hand is just off the body, palm facing up.
Does it matter which one?
No, let's see. Heather needs to use a specific hand. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
My first thought was no, but when you ask these questions, I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe. Okay,
maybe.
So you just want to have your eyes open and looking down low. So we're just asking for the system's priority for the healing and balancing that needs to happen at this time. Okay, so we need to work with the sacral chakra first. Okay, so this one is weak. So we're going to, now you can put both hands. So you can do one in the front and one in the back, or you can do both in the front, both in the back, whatever is the most comfortable. And you can move your hands around too while we're doing it. And if you are, while we're doing it, if you are in any way guided, or you feel like you need to move your hands around on your body or in your space, follow that intuition. You don't have to keep your hands exactly where I'm telling you, but we're going to start out that way. So the first thing we're going to do is just go inward into the heart space. So you're used to doing this in Sacred Circle. So just let me know when you're kind of all the way as far into the heart space as you can go. And normally in circle, I will prompt lots of different prompts to find this. There's a portal or a door, a vortex, lots of different names for this opening in the heart space. So just let me know once you're feeling into that.
Okay.
So we're just going to first intend a layer of protection around Heather and around me. Filling that layer, that bubble, with the light of unconditional love. Just notice what you notice about the colors or any sort of sensory input you get as we do the work. And if you see anything or hear anything and you want to say it out loud, feel free. So just disconnecting for now all attachments to the outside world, air quotes outside world, that we think we're separated from. Really, we are connected always. But we're just gonna, for a moment, get really inside this bubble. And inside the heart space to feel for the guidance, whatever information needs to come forth at this time. So we're going to focus, first of all, allowing the energy of unconditional love to come in through your crown chakra, down through the spinal column. So we're retiling the well. You know, there's this column that goes from the crown chakra down, out through the sacrum, down into the earth, and roots us down into Mother Earth. So just allow that masculine energy of unconditional love to come in through the crown chakra. Notice what you notice about how it feels, how it looks, how it sounds, how it tastes, how it smells. Whatever you notice is information. So anything significant, just holler it out.
I feel like I'm not feeling it as intensely as I have previously.
Okay, that's okay. So just be with it, notice how it feels, and then we're going to allow the feminine energy of unconditional love to come up from the earth and come in through your root system as if you were a tree. Let that healing energy of unconditional love come up through your root system into your root chakra and come up, and the masculine and the feminine meet in the heart space. Kind of swirl there.
So as I said that, I started feeling energy moving, at least from the masculine energy. And then as soon as we mentioned the feminine energy, I immediately felt that energy moving. And now I can feel it starting to swirl, and it's almost, you know, now I can feel the energy actually kind of from both undulating and
awesome.
It's almost making me feel dizzy.
Yeah. So keep breathing. And sometimes this energy work does make us feel dizzy or like we're going to pass out. It's like a familiar feeling of like, that might be just vertigo sometimes. There's, you know,
it's a little bit like that, but yeah, it's that energy.
Breathing through that. And for anybody watching, if you experience those kind of things when you're doing energy work, just breathe through it. You know, of course, tell somebody around you if you feel like you're going to pass out, you know, so they can be ready to help you in case. But I've never passed out yet. And doing this work for a really long time, even though it feels like you're going to, you just keep breathing through it. And sometimes it is a really high feeling where you're like, you feel so expanded and like, and it is dizzy, it's disorienting. We're not used to it. We're not always as aware of this energy that is flowing into us and through us always. But we're just not as aware of it because we're not tuned into it, and just, you know, setting the intention to feel it all the time. And you can acclimate to feel it more and more often without it making you feel dizzy. So just so everybody knows. All right, so just allow that energy to swirl in your heart space. And then it's going to come out your arms, so your arms and your hands are connected to your heart space. And the work we do in the world is an extension of, you know, the love we put out in the world, right? So
it just came to me as you said that I haven't been active in my practices, but one of the things that I've been feeling drawn to do and I've had a little resistance to it and have not been doing it, is my creative practices with my hands, either drawing or painting.
Yeah. Okay, so that's really good. That's one of the reasons that we say creativity, like, you know, building something, drawing something, just making.
And here's another thing.
Help you get in touch with your divine.
Yeah.
Your divine
so
purpose,
here's something that
your divinity expressing in the world. So one thing let me just say this, because this was something that I wanted to say when you were talking about you hadn't been doing your practices, and it came to me to say that a lot of times we do that, where we attach like meditation and journaling to like that. Those are our spiritual practices, but really everything we do in the world, every practice we do, whether it's, you know, making our art or taking a walk to care for our body or brushing our teeth or, you know, making a sandwich for our kid, or all of the things are practices that can offer healing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's something I wanted to say earlier, and I just kind of let the moment pass. So I wanted to say that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I think part of the reason that I haven't been doing those practices as much is because I've noticed the practices that I use they're not allowing the energy to flow in the way that I want them to. I tend to recreate when I'm doing artwork. And I have had resistance. There's some kind of, it's not even resistance per se, it's more of a block to that energy flowing from the heart space through my arms to create something, to create a feeling or whatever it is, where that energy is actually flowing through me and coming out as, you know, not something that's been pre-created that I'm recreating.
Okay,
and
so that's perfect. So that's
what I need to be doing.
And that's why, you know, Spirit said we don't need to like create a goal and do energy psychology. We need to do this other thing because it's time for you to practice that.
Yeah.
So let's do work on the root chakra and see what happens, and just that's gonna be unblocking. So this is a side benefit of this work, is that it's unblocking, you know, other things.
Right.
So just feel that energy flow. Notice any resistance that you feel that from the swirling in the heart, and then the masculine goes out through the right arm and the feminine goes out through the left arm, and then into your sacral chakra. So just notice what you notice as you send that energy. We are co-creating with the divine spirit of unconditional love when we do this work.
I could feel the energy very strong and moving through my hands. I didn't notice anything in the chakra, but I have felt the energy dissipate.
From your arms?
Yeah, like it's not as intense as it was before. My hands, I can still feel a little bit of energy.
Okay, this process is complete. Okay, so that's a no. So intend it again. So the masculine comes in through the crown chakra, the feminine comes up through the root system into the sacral chakra, up into the heart space. It swirls and then goes out the arms. Notice what you notice as it moves, and just keep that faucet on. Until the sacral chakra, you feel the energy swirling there in a healthy way.
See, I don't know, there's some kind of, because I'm not feeling it in the chakra at all.
Okay, so it's ending in your hands. That's the last place you can feel it?
Yep.
Okay. So Divine Spirit, show us the block that's stopping Heather from accepting this energy into her sacral chakra.
I don't know.
Emotion, it might be, do you feel any kind of emotions or any sort of?
When you first started saying that, I felt like a tiny bit emotional, like maybe a little tiny bit scared, but it was so fleeting. And then I was just like,
Okay.
This is a good thing. Let's embrace it and breathe through it. But it was so fleeting and it didn't come back.
Okay. So the fear is the emotion we need to work with. Okay, so we're going to ask, so hands are still at the sacral chakra, sending that energy from the heart space through the arms. So even though you can't feel it in your sacrum, you are sending it there through the hands and it's going in. So we want to ask, so you just need to be able to feel it, right?
Okay.
Let me just ask, being able to feel it is the most appropriate goal. Okay, yes, that's true. So we're going to ask Divine Spirit, take away this fear. Help Heather face this fear of feeling the healing energy of unconditional love flowing into and through her sacral chakra.
Oh my gosh, you know what just came to me?
Say it.
The first thing that came to me is the same sort of, there's a block to the feeling of, for that kind of creation that I want to do. Like I don't feel that flow. But then the second thing that came to me is that I've noticed a block to my emotional expression as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been noticing that for a while and known that it's something. Actually, I think I noticed it around the same time that I noticed that I'm not able to do the kind of creative expression that I want to as well. There's just, there'll come a time where I'm feeling emotional and maybe I kind of want to tear up and cry, but there gets this tightness in my chest. And since I've noticed it, I've worked on embracing it and allowing it to flow. And there's some block there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to keep sending the energy there down into the sacrum. I'm just going to ask some questions. We need to move the hands to a different chakra, and that's a no. Okay, so keep your intention right now is just sending that energy through the arms, feeling it flow down through the hands, releasing it out into your sacral chakra, noticing what you notice as you face that fear that came up. And you might even need to say to it, like, hey, it's time. We're doing this now. What is that fear to feeling the healing energy of unconditional love flowing through your sacral chakra and your entire being too, but So just go there. Tell me when you can feel it. Tell me when you're accessing it. Just even if it's just blipping back in, even if it just blips back
There's
out.
there's something, it's a childhood wound
Okay.
of expression,
So
of
just feel
emotional
it.
expression.
Where do you feel it in your body?
Mm, well, I feel tightness in my back, in the back of my heart space, like in my shoulder
Okay.
blades, like on the left side.
Okay. So divine spirit, release this tightness, release this block. You say it out loud, Heather. And you can use whatever, you can use God, you can use whatever words you want to use, but release this block is what.
Divine Spirit, release this block.
Then say out loud, heal the wounds underneath.
Heal the wounds underneath.
Breathe in and open to accept the healing. Just breathe and open to receive. One more breath, opening to receive. And then after the next inhale, say, Divine Spirit, I open to accept the healing energy of unconditional love.
Divine energy, I open to accept the divine healing of unconditional love.
Yes, sounds good. Open to receive. Breathe. Open, allow. Notice what you notice in your body. So has the tightness in the chest dissipated?
The tightness in the chest has dissipated. The funny thing is I'm feeling little waves of heat through my core, which I don't usually feel energetically. Usually it's more of a tingling.
So that's muscle testing, like just Kundalini moving, basically, life force energy, prana energy moving. So yeah, one thing that we have to do is get acclimated to that energy moving up and down through our core. And it can burn. With me, it burns if I'm not, like, if I haven't expanded enough. Like every time I expand a little bit more, it burns less, and then it'll start burning more, and then I know I need to expand a little bit more.
Right.
So yeah, just feel it, and it kind of burns because it's burning away like the stuff that needs to go, right?
Right.
The gunk, the density, there's ancestral karma. There's so much that's just, we don't even need to know what it is. Just let it go, let it burn, let it do what it needs to do as it moves. Okay, so if you're sending the healing energy of unconditional love through your arms down into your sacral chakra, or you're feeling it go in, or you feeling any sort of, notice what you notice about that. Let me know.
I do feel like I can actually feel the heat energy in my sacral chakra now.
Cool. So just keep breathing, keep feeling it, letting it get stronger, keep sending the energy through your hands down into that space in the body. It's going into the physical body, but also into the energetic body, the light body. If your hands have any tendency to kind of float above the chakra, sometimes that happens. You can just allow it to happen and just keep intending that energy coming from, usually it's from the palm of the hands, or sometimes it's out the fingertips, but it's in the hand area. It will usually, just saying this for everybody listening along, that maybe you're having trouble feeling the energy move. All right, so I'm gonna ask a couple questions. We need to work on another block of feeling the energy moving into the sacral chakra at this time, and that's a no. So this process is complete, and that's a no. So we're going to keep the energy moving, but we don't have to necessarily specifically look for any blocks. You're just going to let that energy fill up that space. almost like filling up a swimming pool, energetically, physically, spiritually, filling the well. Okay, so now it feels like we're done. Does it feel like?
I'm not feeling as much heat moving anymore.
Okay, yeah, I think this process is complete. Yeah, it's strong.
Okay.
All right. So there's an additional chakra that we need to do this process on, and that's strong. All right, so we'll just, how do you feel? Do you need a water break, potty break, anything?
No, I'm good.
All right, so we'll just start again at the bottom and work, start again at the bottom and work our way up on the chakras and see which is the next one we need.
Should I do one hand again?
Yeah, you can just do one hand for this part. But still start with the sacral chakra. And that one's testing strong now. So move up to the second chakra, which is around your womb space. Let me know when you're there. And okay, so that one is weak. So we're going to send the energy into that space. Again, you can have one hand on the front and one hand on the back if you want. You can have both hands on the front, whatever feels good. Hands can move around if they need to. And so just take a couple of breaths as you receive the healing energy of unconditional love through your crown chakra, moving down through the core of your being, and then up through your sacral chakra into your heart space. Feel it swirl and then go out through the hands, out through the arms, shoulders, arms, elbows, wrists, hands. Sometimes it goes slower. So what are you noticing?
I am feeling the energy move.
How does it feel inside the second chakra? Does it feel like it's swirling in a healthy way, or there's something slowing it down, or something's making it swirl too fast sometimes?
No, I can feel it. The funny thing is that I can feel it moving, but I also keep feeling it in the heart space at the same time.
Okay. So
like as I send it into that space, I'm feeling it actually. I can feel like a little bit in the heart space as well.
So the wound we need to look at is in the heart space. So that's strong. So keep sending that energy through the hands into the womb space, and then focus on the heart space. Notice what you notice about any density, tension. Divine Spirit, show Heather what she needs to release from the heart space. So how is it appearing to you?
I don't know. It's just a physical feeling.
Okay. So focus on the feeling.
And it's not an unpleasant one, like tightness, or it feels kind of like just an expansion that needs to happen.
Okay. So Divine Spirit, allow this expansion within Heather's heart space. And then Heather, you say out loud, heal the wounds underneath. Like this section, this plate, this core.
Heal the wounds underneath.
So I'm seeing like a subway, like expansion, and like the air, it's like this area is like, it's like stuff that's outside of the subway tunnel
Yeah, because it's so weird. It's literally like on the surface of my heart space. I can feel it.
Yes, and that's so funny because as we started this, I was this womb chakra, I was feeling everything on the surface. All right, so just keep letting that energy flow down into the womb space. So it's like this kind of circulation of energy, right? And it's as it moves into the womb space, then it also goes into your core, heals through the heart space. Feel that expansion. Notice what you notice as you allow that expansion to take place. And then just say, divine spirit, divine love, I accept your healing.
Divine spirit, I accept your healing.
Breathe and let it expand.
You know what just came to me? I actually don't. It's more powerful for me to recognize. For me, I think calling it divine spirit or divine guidance or divine anything, for me, it's almost like a separate being, a separate force that I'm asking, and that doesn't resonate. That somehow those words are not resonating.
So what words do you want to use?
I don't know, but I don't know that I can't place words to it, but it's that me, my higher energy, that's me that I'm asking to heal these emotional wounds, right? That's it's not this separate thing. That power is literally my consciousness.
It is, yes.
Or my energy, my energetic self. Yes. That I'm asking to.
Divine Spirit, give us the right words for Heather to use for this process.
I don't know, but that just made the expansion stronger again.
Good. Keep going. Keep sending that energy from your crown chakra, from your sacral chakra, into your heart space, out your hands, into your womb space. And then there's the tube torus. Do you know the tube torus?
No, the what?
Shape, the tube torus shape of energy. So it's like a donut, and it goes up through the core of your being, and then it goes out like a fountain out your crown chakra and around. It makes a big bubble in your aura, and then it comes back through the sacral chakra. And then through the spinal column. You might have seen that image of like the big donut around the human.
Yeah.
So that's the energy, how it moves. And so it's like 3D, it's like a donut around you. So as you're putting it in your womb, we've been putting it in the sacrum and in the womb, and it's sending it up that. So that is you. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And I've been doing so much in my personal embodiment of that power and, realizing that is me. It's not, so often when I was, in the religious circles and stuff, everything, that power is taken away. And so I've done so much understanding and embodying of that. So it feels much more powerful, but it also feels more in alignment for me to recognize that power is coming from me. It's not an outside source that's healing me. I'm allowing my higher self, that energetic self, to heal the wounds of this world and allow that expanded consciousness.
So if you say, what about source energy? Does that?
That still feels separate. I think like just my higher self or higher self still doesn't quite feel right, but it feels more. I don't know.
Does she have a name? Divine Spirit, give us the name for Heather's higher self to use in this process.
No, I'm still not hitting on anything that feels.
Yeah, and what I'm getting is that it's because the words don't matter.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. It doesn't. It's more the
I have a
feeling of
list
it.
here of all these words
Yeah.
that you can use for this energy. I mean, it's like a long list.
I think honestly, to me, I feel like the words are actually separating it. Like I don't even need the words. It's just for me, so much of the connection that I do and the feedback that I get feeling.
Yes. And the words lead us through the process. Like
Right.
They're just the anchor point.
Right.
For like stepping across this river on the stepping stones, right? We just have those words that.
Yeah.
But the meaning is so much deeper than what the words. So just allow the healing energy of unconditional love to burn away all of those limits that you have around the words, all of those things that the words create limits in your being, create limits in your experience. Let that burn away. Feel what that feels like. Send the energy into the womb space. Let's see, we need to move off the womb space. That's no. So you're continuing into the womb space. So we're healing the parts of yourself that buy into the limits of words.
Yeah.
Right? Just like there were parts of yourself that were buying into the limits of money or the limits of, whatever physical material things. This is another layer of that. So as you release your attachment to words or your meaning that, it's a part of our experience in this physical experience, but where we're going, the words are less important than just the energy and allowing it to do its work.
I'm not feeling any energy moving anymore.
Okay, so this process is complete. Okay, so there's an additional chakra that we need to focus on. That's a yes. Okay, so I think I need a potty break.
Okay.
So
we can.
Let's pause and then we'll do whatever next chakra needs to be done.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
Good. This is really good. Yeah, I like it.
It's intense.
I like it.
All right, so let's pause and we'll be back in a minute.